I'm here at the scene of the crime spree, right behind me.
Hey, Strange.
Vice Mayor Strange, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson, with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He
that.
was served a federal subpoena this
We
morning.
did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
Most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
So I've got a couple of things I want to share with you. I made more public comments on Thursday that I want to show you. And it has to do, I know I keep talking about it, but it's very important. It has to do with public records. You may know, I asked Panama City Beach for public records with the term emails, with the term Bernie. That's it. So it'd be $14,000. They've got evidently 900 emails with the term Bernie in it since 2016. So Councilman Michael Jarman said, Bernie knows better. He ought to just make a more narrow request. So I did. I made a public request for all emails that the city has, Panama City Beach, with the search term Bernie, just for February. Just February. They said, okay, it'll be $250 some. So I decided I would do an experiment, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what all the cities are doing. Maybe this is what all the counties are doing. So I decided to ask Panama City Beach, Bay County, Escambia County, and Santa Rosa County. Those 5 local government bodies. I asked them for all emails just in the month of February with the search term DeSantis. I just changed the name from Bernie to DeSantis. Do you know what happened? Well, I told the council about it, and I told them what happened. Who do you think charged me the most money out of those 5? Who do you think charged the least? Who do you think's actually following the law? Is Panama City Beach following the law, the Sunshine Law, and the state statute? Now, statute does allow cities, local governments to charge for extensive requests. And they also allow them to spend time reviewing documents that are likely to have sensitive information or confidential information, like a social security number or something about a child or, something like that. Do you think it's likely that emails with the search term DeSantis are going to have confidential information in them from governments? Well, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to tell you what each of those governments wanted for those emails, for those public records. But first, let me show you when I told the council about this. And by the way, when I was telling the council about this Thursday night, Geoff McConnell, Vice Mayor McConnell, was fed up with me, and he felt very threatened. You recall, he felt very threatened. This was right after he told me to step back because he felt so scared behind the bulletproof, whatever that they're behind, and all the guys and all the cops, and the fact that I walked up to the mayor to hand the mayor a postcard. So this was right after that. And so you'll hear, just so you know what's happening, you'll hear Councilman McConnell saying, I don't know what this has to do with city business. Well, it did, because what they were doing was saying that Popeye Park is among several city parks that they're adding new regulations, new rules. So I said, look, you don't own Popeye Park. You may have built it on private land, but you know better. Here's how that went.
All right, so I want to talk about Popeye Park because that's in this agenda item. You all are calling it a city park. And that is, of course, in the low water area on the lot that is designated a boat launching area in the 1962 Diamond Head Plat. Your attorney, Amy Myers, wrote a letter in September of 2019. And in that legal letter that was given to the FBI, she said that the city did not own these lots. You don't own the parks. You don't own the lake.
Rules.
What's that, Vice Mayor?
I'm not sure how this pertains to our city rules.
It's Popeye Park that you are calling a city park. You want to help him out, Mr. Mayor?
We're good.
You have a question, Vice Mayor, I can answer. Popeye Park is one of the parks you're calling a city park. It is built on private property. That is why the FBI is investigating this. The 1962 Diamond Head Plat is the governing document, and the developers, Hearn and Coran, designated that park to the owners in the subdivision. Your attorney knows this. She has legal documents that say so. You've acknowledged it even in your investigation, the internal investigation that you brought in here with Michael Hantman. Do you not recall the conclusions where there was no evidence that anybody, any employees in the city had knowledge that Popeye Park was built on private land? That was in 2019. It's 2020. You all know it's built on private land. I am suggesting that you take Popeye Park off of the list of city parks. You know it's built on private property. The plat says it's designated to the owners in the subdivision. You all know this. Your own investigator told you so. I highly recommend you take that out before you vote on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have public comment on item 1?
For whatever it's worth, I stand by my opinion that the city has a public easement in that park. You have held it out as a public park without objection from the public, and it is my recommendation you do not take it out of the ordinance.
Supreme Court ruling in Florida on that, correct?
There's a case in Miami on which my opinion is based, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. This item is available for
I'm not
Mr.
talking.
Ponick. Anything to add to this, though? Thank you. This item is available for board discussion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Sonny, please call roll.
Councilman German.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Casto.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Chester.
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor McConnell.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's how that went. All right. I'm going to show you Vice Mayor McConnell. His campaign page is just getting absolutely destroyed. And I just closed out that page. So let me get back to it so that I can show you what is happening. His campaign page that is now up and running. He's running for re-election. Here we go. His 4 years has expired, and wait till you see how things are going on his page. All right, it looks like I got that back up and ready. I'm going to show you. You got to see. Geez, I almost forgot. You've got to see what Mayor Mark Sheldon said. Oh gosh, I didn't show you the public records one, did I? Okay, so there's so much to talk about. I didn't put up the public records video. What I said to the council was I sent the public record request to 5 different local governments. Okay. And here's what happened. Bay County, the public record request, remember, instead of asking Panama City Beach for all emails with the term Bernie in the month of February, which they say will cost $250 $3. Right? That's how much they're going to charge me for all emails with the search term Bernie for February. So what I did was I asked 5 local governments for all emails with the search term. I changed it from Bernie to DeSantis. All right. As a little experiment to see what they did. Who's following public records law? I asked Bay County, all public records, search term DeSantis, month of February. Bay County charged me $0 and immediately got me all of the emails, hundreds and hundreds of emails in the month of February with the search term DeSantis. Bay County gets an A+. I asked Santa Rosa County, same thing, all emails, search term DeSantis, month of February. Santa Rosa charged me nothing. Hundreds of emails, almost immediately received. Santa Rosa County gets an A. Santa Rosa County and Bay County are supplying public records quickly to the public because it's easy. They know that they know that there is no likelihood that there's going to be any kind of social security numbers or sensitive or confidential information. Panama City Beach, however, lies and has a resolution that violates state statute, and they want $754. Want to see? So Bay County gave me all the emails, search term DeSantis, month of February free. Look at that. Panama City Beach says it will take 15 hours, 16 really, but they're going to give me the first hour for free because they're so reasonable. So they're going to charge, they want $754 for all emails with the search term DeSantis, when Bay County and Escambia County gave them for free. Is that something? Panama City wanted, I think, $43, and Escambia County wanted $34. Panama City Beach wanted $754. Who thinks that Panama City Beach is A, being reasonable, B, following state statute, or C, do you think they're just absolutely using costs to prevent people from getting our own public records?
Hand caught in the cookie jar? Sometimes bad habits continue even into adulthood. I'm El Saline, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan could make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. All right, so after I talked to the council about this and told them, Bay County gave the public records at no charge. Santa Rosa County gave the public records at no charge. Panama City wanted $43 for hundreds of public records. And Escambia County wanted $34. You want to see it again? $754 for the same request. Is that unbelievable? Here's what Mayor Sheldon had to say about that.
And also, Mr. Thompson, yes, I agree on the pricing for our public records. That's in place for a reason, and it's the right reason. And also,
What? It's for a reason, and it's for the right reason?
and also, Mr. Thompson, yes, I agree on the pricing for our public records. That's in place for a reason, and it's the right reason. And also,
Panama City Beach is doing that. So when these guys run for office, for any of the local governments, for Bay County, when Doug Moore ran 2 years ago to be a Bay County commissioner, you know what he said? If you elect me, I will restore public trust. What has Doug Moore done to restore public trust? Not a thing. And when I say what has he done to restore public trust, I'm going to give you an example. One thing you could do is, especially if you're on Panama City Beach, is you could make a motion to get rid of the resolution that charges $50 for 30 digital pages of public records. Panama City Beach wants $1.37 a page. See, now they don't have that problem in Bay County, but there are things that that they could do, right? Like, I'll give you an example of a great, I think something great when it comes to restoring public trust. In Panama City Beach, 20 years ago or so, there was no term limits, right? You can only serve 2 terms of 4 years, and then you can't be on the council anymore. You could, I think, run for mayor, though. If you're a councilman, I think you can run for mayor. And that had to be voted by the citizens, like all these referendums they don't want us talking about. Do you know who pushed that to get on the referendum? It was Lee Sullivan, the former mayor Lee Sullivan and former police chief. Now, in that regard, former Mayor Sullivan actually did something in the public interest to restore public trust. He put term limits on those seats. So you don't have, like in the school board, where you don't have people there forever and ever. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Exactly. Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm just trying to catch up on what you guys are saying. Oh yeah, they sure do that too as well. Yeah, and they do, Joe. They do have a system already. Here's something to know. Well, first of all, everything they're saying is a lie, right? It doesn't take 2 minutes per page. They've got an employee that they pay $50 an hour, and they say it's $50 an hour, and she can only review 30 pages every hour. So that's why it's $50 for 30 pages. But it's not our responsibility to pay them to ensure that they don't give public records with sensitive or confidential information. They have programs, computer programs, software programs in place, and the city actually has it. They just don't use it. They can already sort that stuff out. Let's see here. There's Lynn. She's a former Panama City Beach councilwoman right there. That was your first. Wow, Linda, look at that. So that happened when you were on the council. You're one of the council members to bring term limits to Panama City Beach. Thank you. The hourly rate seems high. Yeah. Well, it is high, and it's unreasonably high, and it's clearly there. It's clearly there. $50 for 30 pages does not fall under the spirit of the Sunshine Law, and I believe that it violates the. Yeah, that's right. They add in the benefits. So if you want public records from Panama City Beach, you have to pay the salary, hourly, what it comes down to per hour of their city clerk, Lynn Fazzoni, plus her benefits. You've got to pay her benefits just to get the public records. Now, oh my goodness. So let's get back to what we're talking about. Geoff McConnell's running for re-election. He is one of the people who voted to charge you $50 for 30 pages. He's the one who sat up there, a few days ago and pretended that he thought he was being threatened when I walked up to the mayor to hand the mayor a postcard. Do I have the postcard around here? I don't know if I do. This is what Geoff McConnell felt threatened over. I was handing this to the mayor, and he felt threatened. So let's take a look at his campaign page and see what people are saying about it. By the way, this is who's running against Geoff McConnell. He has pulled a challenger. It's Mary Coburn. Go to her Facebook page. When this is over, go to her Facebook page. I hope you'll like and follow her Facebook page. I hope you'll support her. I hope you'll vote for her. She was born in Bay County and grew up in Panama City Beach. You can read all that for yourself, but that's her page. Now let's take a look at Councilman McConnell's page. on Facebook. Here you have it. All right. So you see that? That's where you can go to see his page. He's got, I think Mary has about 100 followers. He's got 560. So Mary needs some followers. All right. So let's take a look at what people are saying. There's his. Now remember, he's one of the council members sitting on the council as the city's being sued for racial discrimination. There's a big giant racial discrimination, a real one now. Real racial discrimination taking place in Panama City Beach. I'm aware of it. And the trial is coming up. So this is what Geoff McConnell posts. And let's take a look if people are there he is. There's Councilman Geoff McConnell, Vice Mayor. Let's see what people are saying on his. Okay, here's a bunch of comments. We are very fortunate to have, so Beth likes him. Have you run for Ward 3? Oh, this was posted, 2 days ago. Good luck, election date. Step back, I feel threatened. Now imagine, this is Jeff's current campaign page. You know he's not happy about these comments on his campaign page. Let's read through all these together. There's not too terribly many of them right after this.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. All right, so let's get back and take a look at the messages on this. Here it is. That is his campaign page on Facebook, Geoff McConnell campaign. And so people are now commenting as he's running again. Good luck. Step back. I feel threatened. I think Rita meant vote for someone else. Wow. Some people want to know basically you're Democrat or Republican. Well said, says Frank. People want to know that. Oh, Carol says Mary Coburn. That's what I just showed you is running against this guy. Just another man spending the people's hard-earned cash on development projects. Oh, I'll say. When you're going to do something for the local people. That's Mary Coburn's whole thing, too. She talks about stop treating residents as second-class citizens. People want to know if he's a Republican or a Democrat. Well, I happen to know Geoff McConnell. I don't want to get into the partisanship. I really don't. Wow, just another money-hungry politician like the mayor. Nope, says Adam. Again, more people are wondering. Please discontinue post. Somebody says, I don't want to get your ads on my page. Follow the money. There's more to that. Wow. Yeah, that's not going so good. Oh, that's funny. I think people are on to Geoff McConnell. Do you think that remember he ran against me and beat me in 2018. I think they said he had 1,067 votes. They said I had 907. And oh my goodness, could you imagine if I was up there? First of all, I couldn't afford to do that. Second of all, that would be probably a conflict of interest. I probably couldn't do this and that at the same time. So, I was embarrassed when I lost. Really wanted to win because if I did, you'd know what the government knows. You would know what the government knows, but I didn't. And so now, though, 4 years later, he has a track record. Do you think enough people? I'm really curious what you think about this. I'm going to look at your comments right now. Do you think enough people know that Geoff McConnell is a total fraud? And he is. He ran 4 years ago. His campaign was Geoff McConnell is a businessman. He has no businesses left. So he couldn't run on that. He said, Geoff McConnell is a family man. I hate to get into this, but I guess I just have to say his third wife divorced him. All right. And then it was Geoff McConnell's a military man. That's true. He did. He served in the Navy. But he misled some real Navy chiefs into believing that he himself was a Navy chief. So I guess 2.5 strikes out of 3. So my question to you is, do you think now, 4 years later, enough people know that he's a fraud, that he won't win this election? I don't know how many votes, because it's not a mayoral election, so there's going to be fewer people voting, I think. Who knows these days? I guess I would guess there's probably going to be, maybe 1,500 votes. That's it. So it's only going to take a majority. There's no runoff or anything. So I guess maybe 750, 800 votes. 800 votes should do it. Do you think that the establishment can pull this off? Most people think they can. Somehow, the local establishment has a virtually perfect record. Now, it's also true, and this is true, you can even ask, if you don't believe me on this, you call Supervisor of Elections Mark Anderson and you ask him this question. Say, Bernie said that people vote in the Panama City Beach City Council elections who live in other states, whose residency is in other states. Is that true? He'll tell you, yes, it is true. But he can't do anything about it because the state of Florida has not defined what a resident is, right? Where is your domicile? And there was an activist, Darrell Sellers, who voted in 2018 for Geoff McConnell and bragged about it. And he had a home, his residency, his homestead was in another state. Now, I called him out on that and he had to fix it. He didn't get in trouble. I don't know how many. Is it dozens? Is it hundreds? But there are people who are homesteaded in other states, and Supervisor of Elections Mark Anderson doesn't like this. If he could do something about it, he would. But he can't because the state hasn't defined what a resident is. That's what the state legislature should be doing, defining what a resident is. They should write a bill that says if your homestead is in Tennessee or North Carolina, you cannot vote in state, city, or county elections. Not here. So I don't know how many they do. I don't know how. I have a feeling, and I've been told that is sort of how they get over, how they always guarantee victories. But remember, if you doubt what I'm telling you, ask Supervisor of Elections Mark Anderson, who's a great guy and a good supervisor of elections, right? He can't do anything about it, but he'll tell you, yes, it is true. There are people homesteaded in other states who vote in the Panama City Beach city elections because maybe they have a condo here or something like that. But it's not their homestead, but they do it anyway. And they brag about it. And there's really nothing that can be done about it. That happens in Panama City Beach. So my question to you is, do you think that Councilman McConnell can win? Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, that's right. That racial discrimination lawsuit, they allege that they were told in the lawsuit that they can't use the restroom in the new city hall. Alan says no, but I'm not sure what my question was at the time. Oh gosh, I don't want to get into the personal stuff about. I have to tell you that because look, when I ran, they made it all about. Look, I've never been arrested, right? So they just tried to embarrass and humiliate me. If they were to take any of our most embarrassing moments and splash it, say, on the front page of the paper, every one of us would be embarrassed. That's what they did. But I never did that with McConnell. Never. And I still won't. talk about his family. I still won't talk. But I have to tell you, since he made it an issue, right? Geoff McConnell is a family man. He can't run on that. So last time it was Geoff McConnell's a businessman, Geoff McConnell's a family man, Geoff McConnell's a military man. This time it's Geoff McConnell's a veteran. That's accurate, at least. Geoff McConnell's a father. Geoff McConnell is a friend. So that's his platform, by the way. Geoff McConnell is a veteran. Geoff McConnell is a veteran. Geoff McConnell is a father. Geoff McConnell is a friend. Oh my God, that's his. I was wondering. Remember, I said, "What's he going to run on?" You can't say he's a businessman. He's lost all of his businesses. Oh my God. All right, so let's see here. They tried to, but yes, they sure did. Yeah, Arthur Cullen and Geoff McConnell and all of them. They even sent illegal postcards. I don't want to get into my old campaign, but it's a damn shame that the FBI and the sheriff's office allowed that. They know that there were at least 1,000 illegal postcards, illegal campaign postcards. They told me they're illegal. They know they're illegal. And that's 1,000 pieces of paraphernalia sent through the U.S. mail. That's 1,000 charges of a federal crime. But nobody did anything about it. It's been 4 years. Is that amazing? So they do have help, the establishment. They can cheat and get away with it. So people are, let's see, so tired. Yes. I'll tell you what, Jody, you know this. Their margins are slimming. They used to win by landslides. Now they're winning by 5 votes, 32 votes. They're winning by very narrow margins at this point. Can you get Mary Coburn on my show? I sure I can, and I am going to. So yes, you will get to see Mary Coburn on the show as long as she accepts. I think she will. John. Oh boy. All right. That's great. Let's see here. If you have one candidate, must offer the other equal time in your campaign. Okay, so here's how it works, Josie. That doesn't apply to the internet, right? It doesn't apply to the internet. Trust me, I know. So I could invite Mary Coburn on the show and tell Geoff McConnell he can't come on my show, and it's legal. This is Facebook. Now, I couldn't do that when I was on the radio. I also think that it would be fair for me to invite Geoff McConnell as well. So I will. Not because I have to by law, but because I think it would be fair. Now, you know how scared he is, right? He's not going to sit in here and debate this stuff. That'd be something, wouldn't it? One of the things that Geoff McConnell's buddy, his campaign manager, Arthur Cullen, they started this back in 2014. This idea that if you don't talk to Bernie and don't acknowledge Bernie, then he doesn't exist. Well, they started doing that around 2014, and it hasn't worked real well. But they're not going to come on the show. But I will. I'll invite him. I'll invite Geoff McConnell and Mary Coburn on the show. All right. Gosh, yes. Yeah, I would too, actually. And, that's how it used to be. I started doing, I don't know if some of you remember. I see some of you. Brad Nelson remembers. Frank Sewell would remember. Miss Sarah Moon would remember. Josie Ferrioli would remember. Gosh, some of you would. I started doing the radio show for 8.5 years in Panama City Beach, the #1 show all throughout Florida. And for 8.5 years. And I would bring the candidates on the show. We would have This is back when Americans would debate each other, though. See, times have changed. There's something weird going on. It's like what Arthur Cullen and these guys brought to Bay County. We don't like him. We'll never debate him. We'll never talk to him. He doesn't exist. Vilify him. All that kind of stuff. That's now taking place all over the country, right? But did we not have incredible debates? Do you think that I would avoid a debate? Why do you think they won't debate me on any of these issues. Now, Paul Casto has, boy, Paul ought to do this. He's also running for re-election. He's a councilman. He has all of this training in stormwater. He said he has all of these certificates. He's certified stormwater smart guy. Do you think that Paul Casto would debate me on the issue of stormwater? It's not because I know more about stormwater. I don't. But I know what he's saying is not true, couldn't possibly be. And I don't want to get into all those issues. But here's the reason they won't debate me, because they're not telling the truth. And I'm telling you the truth. The truth is, I don't know very much about it, but I know for damn sure when the consultants for the city say that we're going to be the guinea pig of the Gulf because it's never been done in the Gulf. They've never dug 30-foot trenches in the Gulf, 1,500 feet out, about a half mile west of the city pier. They're going to cover them up with rocks the size of Volkswagens in the Gulf. And they're going to discharge stormwater through that within a mile, about a half mile from the city pier. At the end of the city pier, they're both 1,500 feet long. There's some problems there. The water that you're going to discharge in there is supposed to absorb in the soil. That's where it belongs. That's where it's supposed to go. But if they build more impervious surfaces, more parking lots, more resorts, that water is no longer going to absorb in the soil. They're going to discharge it in the Gulf. Where am I wrong? And if you build more impervious surfaces and you say, we'll just discharge it in the Gulf, I don't think that's going to help with the flooding issues. I think it'll help them get more gigantic multi-million-dollar grants, and then they'll hire their buddies in the contracting business. And then I think they get kickbacks in one form or another. That is conjecture. Can't prove that. But I bet you. Whew, man. Yeah, they won't debate. They won't even answer questions at a city council meeting. They'll pretend they're afraid of me. Do you want to see? I got to show you this. I don't know if I want to get into all this. I'm not. I'll just tell you. I think the post before this one on this page or below, I shared a video of Geoff McConnell interacting with me when he didn't think the cameras were on. You tell me if you think that he feels threatened. You won't believe it. So you'll have to it's a post or two below this one. You just check that out yourself. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up. I just wanted to tell you that Geoff McConnell's Facebook page, that's right. I forgot about that, Miss Sarah Moon. Yeah, they're not allowed to be on the show. Do you know that one of the first things that former city manager Tony O'Rourke did was he came on the show. He sat with me on the show. Immediately, I knew that was an honest man. He went back to City Hall, and Mayor Mike Thomas pulled him in his office and screamed and screamed and screamed at him. This was in early 2019. Am I right about that? Early 2020? I guess it would be early 2020. I think it was early 2020. He came on the show, and then the council just started their we're going to get rid of him stuff. And when he blew the whistle about the corruption, that's exactly what they did. All right. Yeah, they're not allowed to be on the show. But Josie Farioli, to your point, I think it's the right thing to invite them, and we'll allow them the opportunity to say yes or no. Right? How about that? All right. If you appreciate the show, I hope that you'll consider supporting my work. And you can do that by becoming a patron right here. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. It's kind of like giving a tip. Little as $5 a month. And you can do that. It's anonymous. Nobody will know it's you. It's easy. And you can quit at any time. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. So this show is really supported by you, crowdfunding, and by sponsors. Some sponsors say, I'm not putting my business up there. Are you crazy? I'm going to have code enforcement come after me. So the Unknown Patriot, as always, thank you so much for supporting my efforts. And I'll continue to bring you the truth the best I see it. I'll at least tell you what the news outlets, the public-private partners won't tell you. And I'll continue to show you if I say it. Don't forget to check out Mary Coburn. She's running against Geoff McConnell, and like and follow her page and contact her, support her. She doesn't have people pouring money, tens and tens of thousands of dollars into her campaign. She's a regular person, but take a look at what she is saying on that page, and you'll even see one of her very first remarks to the Chamber of Commerce, her first speech. Mary Coburn, she needs, if you can, send her a check. And I don't care if it's $20, $50, $100. It helps, and it looks like a real grassroots campaign when a candidate gets a bunch of small checks instead of a handful of $1,000 checks, right? Let's pray for the good guys. All right. Thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you back here very soon.